The art of visual comedy. Some would argue that it has been lost, that the heyday of great works with Mel Brooks and Leslie Nielsen is forever gone. But a short film from Seth Worley begs the question, is visual comedy real gone? Really gone? This worked better in my head. Roll the intro. Hey, I'm Jesse, and this is Video Tempest, where we plow through the storm of YouTube content, bringing you reviews, critique, and analysis. And today, we're looking at Real Gone, a short released by Film Riot. As always, spoilers ahead, so go watch the short, then come back for the analysis. The film starts beautifully. To a viewer who is unaware of what they're in for, this opening would make them feel like they've tuned in to a serious drama rather than a comedy. The overall theme is expressed by the words of the paramedic.
Well, congratulations. You're going to live.
We continue with a series of match cuts that emphasize how unhappy this guy is. Every cut puts the camera farther away from him, highlighting how solitary and small he is, as his gloominess emanates from him. To someone aware of the comedy in this film, these match cuts are a little bit funny in the grand scheme of things, but our average viewer is still unaware of what's to come. This scene with the TV sets up the man's intentions, and the comedy theme starts to get a little more obvious as the music with the shaker comes in. The shiftiness in his eyes here is excellent comedic acting, being able to underplay the scene, but hitting all the right funny beats. This becomes increasingly important as the situations in the film escalate.
I built a life in the sinking sand. It's time to post up in the promised land. I really feel so tired. I really feel so tired of fighting. Of fighting. Take a look inside. Take a look inside.
This is funny, but why? Is it because there's dramatic tension as the music builds and we develop our own expectations of how the scene is going to go, but it gets subverted? Is it because of the nonchalant expressions the man makes as he attempts to start the car, as if he was simply stalled out on a street somewhere? I don't know. I laughed, though. He attempts to start his car again, and we get a hard cut. The dramatic music comes back in, signifying the director has set up our next great foe, the tub. The quick cuts here are very reminiscent of Edgar Wright's style of filmmaking. The absurdity grows as the toaster cord isn't long enough. He steps out of the tub, and we get the delicious squishy sound of his shoes, followed by the comical whip of the electrical cord. A great example of using audio for comedy. And, of course, he fails at this too. Setting up our next foe, we get a great example of going to extremes for visual comedy. We have a super wide shot that shows the absurd grandeur of his plan, utilizing a 25-foot tall light pole with a noose. Anyone else notice something really wrong about this shot? You know, that he's walking over to the pole with a tiny ladder? How do you get that noose up there? Did he decide to take his 30-foot extension ladder down and walk it off frame before grabbing his 4-foot step stool? Anyway, this attempt goes about as well as you'd expect, and we get this awesome shot of an innocuous little letter as the sound design completes the gag. This shot accomplishes comedy in the same way many horror films build terror. There's an old adage that the monster you don't see is scarier than the one that you do. In this case, the scene unfolds out of focus with excellent and ridiculous sound design, causing us to fill in the blanks with our minds, which, somehow, makes it funnier. It's kind of like how swearing is funnier on Family Guy when it's censored.
Oh, Lois, you are so full of... What? No, I can't say in my own house? Great, Lois, just great. You know, you're lucky you're good at my or I'd never put up with you. You know what I'm talking about. When you lubed up toothpaste in my while you on a cherry, Episcopalian, extension cord, wetness with a parking ticket, that is the best.
This concept holds true in the next scene as well, where creative lighting and sound design are used to pull off the gag.
Well, you broke your leg, but you're gonna live.
These hospital scenes incorporate the same techniques we saw from earlier in the film. Hard cuts during action, stopping the music for comedic effect, match cuts, and a great play between quiet and loud.
You're gonna live. You're alive. You're still alive. Alive, living, live, life.
Until we get to this boiling point, which, once again, is subverted by comedic irony.
Where's chips?
The fire alarm going off. The film slows dramatically at this point, once again resembling a drama more than a comedy. As the man hears voices from the burning building, he decides to step in. We get this great dramatic moment as we zoom in on the goodbye letter with the fire raging in the background, intercut with close-ups of the scene. He passes the woman off to the paramedics, and we see that he has come to a turning point. He has finally accepted his fate. He is going to live. Or not. The mood created by the music in the next scene sets us up. We expect him to scream no or be upset at the loss of his chance at life. But instead, the filmmaker subverts our expectations one last time. I thought this short was awesome, and it definitely incorporates a lot of moments that perfectly demonstrate the art of visual comedy. If you want to see more, there's an on-set experience available on the Triune store that gives you a high-quality version of the film, a making-of documentary, ungraded footage, a digital copy of the script, and a bunch of other things, so check that out if you're interested. Also, on a serious note, if you or someone you know is in emotional distress or having suicidal thoughts, the Suicide Prevention Lifeline is there for you. Call. They will listen. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and subscribe and tap the bell to be notified whenever new videos are released. And if you'd like to help support more content like this, please consider becoming a patron. My Patreon link is in the description of this video. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.